there's more to learn when money finally starts making sense. Most people don't realize this until it's already happened, but a bad money year doesn't usually announce itself loudly. It doesn't come with a single disaster. It creeps in quietly through small decisions, emotional spending, delayed plans, and money stress you keep telling yourself you'll deal with next month. And then one day, you look back and realize your finances feel heavier, messier, and more confusing than they did before. Not because you're irresponsible, not because you're bad with money, but because money is emotional, complex, and deeply tied to real life. A bad money year can leave people feeling embarrassed, discouraged, or frozen. Some people avoid checking their accounts. Some promise themselves a fresh start without actually changing how they think. Others jump into extreme fixes, aggressive budgets, risky investments, or financial guilt that never really leads to clarity. This conversation matters because how you respond after a difficult financial period often determines the next 5 or 10 years of your financial life. Many personal finance books quietly emphasize this idea. Recovery isn't about intensity, it's about understanding, structure, and patience. A reset is not a punishment, it's a recalibration. And if you don't reset properly, you don't just repeat the same year, you repeat the same patterns. When people misunderstand what a financial reset actually is, they usually do one of two things. They either pretend nothing happened and continue as before, or they overcorrect and burn out. Ignoring a bad year doesn't erase it. Overreacting to it doesn't heal it either. The real cost of not resetting thoughtfully shows up in constant anxiety, poor decision making, and a lack of confidence around money. You hesitate when opportunities appear. You feel behind when others talk about investing. You avoid long term planning because the short term feels overwhelming. Many well known money psychology and wealth building books point to the same quiet truth. Financial progress isn't linear, and setbacks are part of the process. What matters is how you interpret the setback. A bad money year does not mean your system is broken forever. It means your system gave you information. One of the most useful ideas that appears across many finance books is the idea of separating events from identity. A bad year is an event. It is not a definition of who you are with money. When people fail to make this separation, they internalize the setback. They start saying things like, I'm just bad with money, or I always mess things up. That mindset quietly shapes future decisions and often leads to avoidance or self sabotage. A proper financial reset starts with reframing the year as data, not drama. Instead of asking, how did I fail? You ask, what did this year reveal about how my money actually works? This way of thinking shows up in several long term investing and financial behavior books. They emphasize observation before action. Before you change anything, you need clarity. Clarity does not mean judgment, it means seeing your numbers without emotion. A reset begins by calmly reviewing what actually happened: income, spending, debt movement, savings changes, without labeling it as good or bad. This is not a budgeting exercise yet. It's an awareness exercise. Many people skip this step because it feels uncomfortable. But discomfort is often a sign that you're finally looking at reality instead of assumptions. When you look closely, patterns appear. Maybe income was unstable. Maybe expenses grew slowly without notice. Maybe emergencies were handled with credit because there was no buffer. Maybe generosity outpaced capacity. Maybe lifestyle expectations didn't match cash flow. These are not moral failures. they are structural issues, and structure is fixable. A common misconception people take from popular finance books is that discipline alone fixes everything. Discipline matters, but discipline without structure leads to exhaustion. Many authors quietly stress systems over willpower. Your goal after a bad year is not to become stricter with yourself, it's to become more realistic. A realistic reset asks better questions. What expenses are truly fixed and which ones expanded quietly? Where did stress influence spending decisions? What parts of your financial life lack clear boundaries? For example, many people believe their problem is not earning enough, when in reality, the issue is irregular cash flow paired with fixed expectations. Others believe they overspend when the deeper issue is unclear priorities or emotional relief spending. Resetting your finances means aligning money with reality, not fantasy. This is where long term thinking becomes essential. Many wealth building philosophies emphasize that progress comes from consistency, not dramatic moves. A reset is not about catching up overnight, it's about stabilizing first. Stability comes before growth. In real life, this looks like giving your money breathing room. You focus on predictability, margins, and buffers. You simplify instead of optimizing. You reduce noise before chasing returns. This might mean temporarily slowing investing to rebuild cash stability. It might mean restructuring debt so payments are sustainable. It might mean adjusting lifestyle expectations to match current income instead of future hopes. People often resist this step because it feels like going backward. But many finance books explain that stepping back strategically is how long term progress is protected. Another common misunderstanding is believing a reset must involve cutting all enjoyment. That belief usually leads to resentment and eventual rebound spending. A healthy reset is not about deprivation, it's about intention. You decide what stays because it matters and what goes because it doesn't. Not because you're punishing yourself, but because you're choosing clarity. As you rebuild, mindset matters more than tactics. Motivation fades, systems remain. Several well known financial authors emphasize designing money systems that function even when life is busy, emotional, or uncertain. That means automating what should happen automatically, simplifying what causes friction, reducing decisions that drain mental energy. A reset succeeds when money stops feeling like an emergency and starts feeling like a tool again. One of the biggest mistakes people make after a bad year is rushing to make up for lost time. They chase aggressive strategies, risky investments, or extreme savings goals. This often comes from comparison, not wisdom. Long term wealth is not built by speed, it's built by alignment. A calmer approach allows you to rebuild trust with your own finances. Trust grows when you do what you say you'll do, consistently, even in small ways. That trust becomes confidence. Confidence improves decisions. Better decisions compound over time. As you move forward, remember that patience is not passive, it's active restraint. Many personal finance philosophies highlight that avoiding bad decisions is just as powerful as making good ones. Your reset doesn't need to be perfect, it needs to be honest. When you look back at this moment years from now, the success of your reset won't be measured by how fast you recovered, but by whether you built a system that could handle future uncertainty better than before. That is the quiet purpose of a financial reset, not just recovery, but resilience. If you take anything from this conversation, let it be this. A bad money year does not disqualify you from financial stability or long-term wealth. It gives you perspective, and perspective, when used well, is one of the most valuable financial assets you can have. I'm Flowealth. I talk about investments, money management, financial education, and understanding your financial rights so you can make better decisions with your money. If this helped you think more clearly about your own financial reset, feel free to like the video, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your experiences matter here, and this is a space for calm, honest conversations about money.